Oh, the sound of nature. Isn't it beautiful? Welcome back, guys, to another edition of Looted. Today we're going to be checking out whatever is inside this suspicious looking package. It looks like the sort of thing that if you left it on public transport, it would be taken away and destroyed with explosives. But in fact, inside this box is something that I've been wanting to check out for quite a while. A tiny theremin. For years, people have been asking us to check out a theremin on the channel, and the main reason why we haven't until today is frankly because they are way too expensive. Most of the ones out there cost around $400 to $500, whereas this little guy right here cost us about $100, which is significantly cheaper. Obviously, this one isn't going to have all the bells and whistles that you would expect from a more expensive one, but it could serve as a good introduction to theremins, and if I like it, maybe later down the line, I'll invest in a swankier one. We're gonna need a wider lens. You know what? It kind of looks like the ones that Jimmy Page used at live shows. On the side here, you've got your on and off switch. Just below that, you've got your DC power input. And below that, you've got your 6.3mm audio output, so you can directly plug this thing into a guitar amp. The knob at the front here is used to tune the starting frequency / pitch, and it also changes the size of the electromagnetic field, I think. It sounds right, but it also could be completely wrong. Basically, it changes how close you need to get to the antenna before it produces sound. Speaking of which, you've then got your antenna, and the big difference between this one and the other ones that you get on the market is that it only comes with one antenna which controls the frequency. Other ones like the Theremins made by Moog come with two antennas, one to control frequency and one to control volume. Now, if you want a more technical breakdown on how Theremins work and the science behind them, I suggest you go check out SciShow's video from 2016. Let's be honest, Hank Green is a far smarter man than I, so it's probably best you go listen to him when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm here to make noise, and noise I shall make. That's fun. So like I said, you can use this knob to change the field, and if you turn it all the way in this direction, you have to get very, very close to make a noise. In fact, you might have to touch it. And yeah, you have to touch it to make a noise. Whereas if you turn it all the way in this direction, it starts making a noise, and I don't think I can escape it. No, it's just gonna keep screaming. Stop screaming at me. So we just change the size of the field. Sounds like I'm watching the TT. You can get some kind of spooky effects out of this thing, like a creaking door. Or it just sounds like a passing wind. Either way, it's an effect. You can get some vibrato going by shaking your hand. Which works quite well. Now, ideally, when you use a theremin, you want to use it in a nice, clear and open space, and not like this tiny studio with a load of studio equipment kicking about. And that's to reduce the amount of interference that the theremin would pick up. But luckily, it seems to be working all right in a tiny space like this. The sound that's coming out of this theremin does sound very distorted, but I think that has more to do with the fact that we're using a cheap and very old amp. One day I'll buy myself a new and better amp, but I just can't part with this little guy, especially after all the memories that we shared. Let's be honest, PV was a bit so I bought myself a new amp. This right here is the Vox VX15 GT, and the reason I picked this guy up is because it comes with a load more features than my previous amp. It comes with a built-in delay effect, you can change the sound profiles, you can just do so much more with this amp, and I love it. And because it has a built-in delay effect, it means that I don't have to have a separate pedal or anything like that to use with my theremin. I can just plug this in, get the delay effects that I need, and I'm happy as Larry. Let's just add a slight delay. Just makes it sound a bit more spacey. Gosh, it's noisy. Org phaser, let's try that. Ooh, twin trem. Let's see what the sound profiles do to this thing. I have a feeling it's not going to sound great. Oh, the sound of nature. Isn't it beautiful? You'd think one day there'll be a video where I don't play Smoke on the Water. Unfortunately, that day has yet to come. Typical spooky sound effects. The best sound, a theremin turning off. I can't really imagine someone playing a song on this thing. It might just be because I'm not very good at it, but just the fact that it doesn't come with the volume control that other Theremins do means that you can't really pull off a melody like you can with those ones. Instead, this one, you just kind of produce a lot of noise, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that, but that's all you get. If you want a theremin sound to put into your music or use as a sound effect, but you don't want to spend hundreds of pounds to get it, this is a great option, but straight out the box you are quite limited as to what you can do with this theremin. Obviously you can make this a more versatile piece of kit if you add effects pedals, try out different combinations and experiment a little, and you can get some weird and wonderful sounds out of it. But this is still a fun little instrument, and if you're thinking about trying out a theremin for yourself, but you don't want to splash out on a big, expensive one, this could be a good place to start. And of course it's absolutely tiny, so it's really easy to carry about. Just take it out of your bag, put it up on stage, and just make some funky sounds with it. It gives you the basic idea of how a theremin works and kind of just leaves you wanting more. I know after trying this one out, I now really want one of those expensive ones, so maybe I'll get one of those in the future. But there's a load more experimentation to be done, so for the time being, I'm more than happy with this little guy. And with that, I think that's going to be it for another edition of Looted. Shout out to Keegan McAdams, Natasha Savage, Pika Foop, and Luna on Patreon. Thank you very much for your support, and if you like this video, hit like. If you like all our videos, hit subscribe. We've got more videos on the way. Follow us on our social pages, and if you want to support the channel further, check out a link in the description to our Patreon page, and you can also join us on our Discord server. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.